Today we'll be talking about Booleans and operations. So these are the things you'll be using every day whenever you write program, no way around it. And these are really easy and really fun. So in our life we use addition, subtraction, multiplication, division pretty much everywhere. And in Python you'll need to manipulate data sometimes, right? For example, you want to count how many numbers you have in a list. You want to see how many were removed. So you have to add, subtract, multiply. If there are 3 lists and all of them have 16 people in it, then how many total names do you have? So that's 16 times 3. So you need to do basic mathematics in here, right? That's just some examples. So first let's know how do we do all this multiplication, division. In Python, all you need to do is just put in the symbol. So for addition, it's the +1, subtraction minus, multiplication is asterisk, and division is a backslash. So as you can see over here, Python uses mathematical operators plus, minus, asterisk, forward slash for sum, subtract, multiply, and divide. So these operations will always return new numbers. So let's check this out. Print 2 plus 3. So we're using the print function and we want to print the result of 2 plus 3. So let's see. The result is 5. Now we want to divide 4 by 2, and whatever the result is, we want to save that to a variable called division underscore result. So div underscore result, and then we want to print div underscore result. So div underscore result can hold a new value when we put in something else. For example, right now it's 4 divided by 2, and that gives us an answer of 2.0. Let's put 8 divided by 2. So that gives us an answer of 4.0. So div underscore result can store a lot of values. It becomes really convenient. We don't have to necessarily do manipulation inside the print function. We just do the manipulation for the variable. So that becomes really convenient for us. So basic point is you can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Whatever that answer is, store that to a variable. And over here we just wanted to show the variable on the screen, so we just use the print. But you can use some other function to do something more useful with that variable. Python also has asterisk for exponential, and modulus. For modulus you have a percent inside. So modulus is basically the remainder. So 17 modulus of 7 would give us 3 as the remainder, right? So there you have 3 as a remainder. And 2 asterisk 3 is 2 raised to the power 3, so that would be 8. So definitely very useful and very easy. The best part is you don't have to define any of these. You didn't have to define the division algorithm, the multiplication algorithm. All that is built in. Just type away, and that's why Python is so convenient. Now, Python also has comparison operators. So like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division that returned us values, these particular ones, equal to, not equal to, less than equal to, greater than equal to, these give you Booleans. Now remember Booleans that we talked in the last video. That means it will either be a true or a false, no exception. So let's check this out. Print 5 is greater than 2. Now, is 5 greater than 2? Well, 5 is greater than 2. So you're going to get a result that is true. Now we look at 3 different Boolean logics that are and, or, and not. So let's say you have 2 conditions. The first one is true and the second one is true. So true and true as a whole is also true, right? But if you have something like true or false, what would that be? Well, true or false, is either one of them true? Well, it is, right? So that would be true. And let's look at something like true and not false. So true and not false means true, and true on true is always true. So you might think that this has no application when you'll be programming, but that's not true. Because let's look at condition. Well, first let me just execute this code and show that what I'm basically trying to say. So 5 is greater than 2, that is true. That is why the first statement that gets executed over here is true, because we use the print function. So does Python believe that 5 is greater than 2? Python believes it's true, and you can see that how it evaluated this as a Boolean operation, and then we just printed that out in the first statement. Then print true and true. Well, true and true is true. As you can see, true and not true is also true, and true and false is true. So now let's look at that inside a conditional, because you'll be using conditionals when you program a lot. So if true and not false. So what happens in a conditional is that if this statement is true, you want this code to be executed. That's after the indentation. So if true and not false, that means this is true. If true, then print this. Now let's look at a real life situation. You want to see if when these two strings are added, they're literally equal to this. So this is a Boolean statement, because this will equal to return is a value comparison, and it's going to give you a Boolean answer. So if true, execute this, right? So is cogs plus 18, when you concatenate the strings, is it actually literally equal to cogs 18? Well, apparently it is. So when you execute it, strings get added and the sum is the exact same as cogs 18. This is true, and that's why the statement is printed. So that's the code that we wanted to be executed if the statement was true. Now let's look at some other statement. This is a more practical one. So if parenthesis 13 modulus of 7 is greater than or equal to 7, now is this going to return true or false? Well, this is definitely false, because 13 modulus of 7 is always less than 7. The answer should be 6. So this is not true, and cogs plus 18 is equal to cogs 18. Now this part is true. So if not true and true, so if false and true. So false and true is not true, right? True and true would be true, but false and true is false. This is kind of common sense, but if you have trouble with it, you're just gonna have to learn and just think about it, because true and true is just true, but true and false is not true, because it is false in it. But if you have true or false, it's just looking for one of them to be true, and that's why the whole statement becomes true. So over here, if this and this, so this is false and this is true, so that's false. So this statement will not get executed. Else, do this. So if this is false, just do this. That's basics of if else. I hope I didn't confuse you way too much, but the basic point of all this is that you just want the conditionals if else will take in the Boolean input, right? It will only take in the input of true and false. So if it's going to take in the input of true and false, you have to give it something that evaluates as true or false. And if it will be true, then the statement will get executed, and if it's not true, the else statement will get executed. And that's pretty much the basics of if and else. Python also uses is and is not to compare identity. Now these are not the operators that we used to seeing, like equal to, not equal to, greater than equal to, less than equal to. Let's say we have a is equal to 927, b is equal to a, and c is equal to 927. So the value of a gets stored inside the value of b. Now what you want to do is you want to print a is b. So these also return Booleans. Now is a actually b? Well, it is, according to line 4. So this is going to give us the answer true. And print c is not a. Well, is c not a? Well, c is a, so that's false, and that's why we have false over here. So Booleans are just something we're going to be using a lot inside if else. It's called conditionals. I hope you guys understood why they're so important and the amazing power these Booleans have. Really reduces the amount of code you have to write and lets us think in that algorithmic setting. See you guys in the next video. I hope you understood this. If you did not, I'll be attaching a link below that explains Boolean comparisons really well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video.